Hello and welcome to the Great Central Railway. We're here again to look at our new Class 155 and Class 153 projects. They're the first models to transfer across from Hellion to the Accurascale range. I'm Ben Jones, Project Manager at Accurascale, and I'll take you through it today. So you might recognise this. This is a Hellion Class 153 in O gauge, which was released in 2025. It was incredibly popular. One of those models that changes the way people think about how they build layouts and things like that. So it's been incredibly successful as a product, and Hellion decided to scale it. As a result of that, Hellion decided to scale it down to double O gauge. But at the same time, because the two things share so many common parts, Hellion also decided to fill a gap in the market by producing a double O gauge Class 155. And that's what we're here to look at today. Those two models, after the takeover of Hellion by Accurascale, those two models have now transferred into the Accurascale range and will be released in 2027. So for anyone who's not familiar with the prototypes, it's worth explaining a little bit more about what is a Class 153, what is a Class 155. In 1987-88, BR's provincial services sector was revolutionising its fleet by replacing a lot of local old trains with sprinter DMUs of various types. One of those was the Class 155, which was ordered from Leyland Bus in Workington, and that order consisted of 35 two-car units that were based at Cardiff for use all over Wales and the southwest and south of England. Another 7 Class 155s were ordered by West Yorkshire PTE for use in West Yorkshire and on the Calder Valley line, and they roamed across quite a wide area of northern England. Now, pretty soon after introduction, the Class 155s proved to be quite problematic. They had issues with their plug doors and also with their engine mountings, and they spent quite a lot of their early months withdrawn, awaiting modifications and repairs. While that was happening, BR, at the time, Provincial Services or Regional Railways as it became, had a need for new, relatively new trains to replace a lot of the first generation DMUs, which were still around in service at the time, pockets of them in Cornwall and northwest England, places like that. It was decided to split the 35 Provincial Services Class 155s and turn them into single car rail cars with a new cab built into the inner end of the body at on each car. Those 35 two-car units created 70 single car units that were used across a huge area of the country on secondary and rural services, right from Cornwall across to East Anglia, Wales, and all the way up to the Scottish borders. The only exception to that were the 7 West Yorkshire units, which stayed as Class 155s. And that's why we thought it was important to create both a Class 155 and a Class 153, because there's a real gap in the market for a high quality model of both trains. After rebuilding, which took place from about 1990, 1991 onwards, the 153s became a common sight across a wide area of England and Wales. They never worked in Scotland until more recently. We'll come on to that later. They were used on rural lines and secondary services across a wide area of England and Wales, but also around the major cities, providing extra capacity by coupling to other sprinter type units and pacers, which they were compatible with, thanks to the auto couplers on the ends. A few years after they were introduced, BR was privatised. And the passenger operations were split up into 25 regional TOCs, several of which gained Class 153 fleets. Although their duties didn't really change from prior to privatisation, their liveries did, and over the years they've carried probably more liveries than any other diesel unit on the network, which makes them an ideal candidate for a model because we can produce lots of different liveries to suit different areas and different periods. So let's talk about the features of these models. Obviously there's a lot in common between them because one was rebuilt from the other. These models were announced by Hellion last year, but will be released as Accurascale models. We'll come back to that later, but for the moment let's talk about what we can offer so far. Every model across both classes comes with a host of lighting features, so that includes directional headlights and tail lights, also headlights in the day and night setting on the front end in direction of travel. You've got saloon interior lights, separately switchable cab lights, and as we did with the O-gauge model, the door buttons light up in red and the body side indicator lights also light up in orange. So you've got lots and lots of authentic lighting functions that gives it a real sense of play value. All models come with factory fitted speakers with magnetic BSI couplings that allow them to couple to each other, but also you'll get an extra set with longer pins on that will allow you to couple to units from other manufacturers as long as they've got NEM pockets. So that includes things like Class 150s, 158s, 142s, 143s and 144s. Both models are powered by a central motor, low profile motor, which is under the floor, driving both bogies through drive shafts. On the Class 155, that's just on one car and the other car is a trailer. In terms of detail, you've got early and late versions of the headlights with or without the side lights. You've got optional NRN radio pods on the roof, which were fitted in the sort of middle period of these units but are now being removed, so later liveries. Early liveries and late liveries won't have the pods, but you can fit them according to your period. You've also got fantastic underfloor and bogie detail across both units. You've got fantastic detail inside and out on this model. The real crowning glory of this model, we think, is the interior, which has got fantastic seating and table detail, partitions, all sorts of everything you would expect on the real thing is on this model. So I mentioned earlier that these models are transferring from Hellion into the Accurascale range. But what does that really mean? It's not just about changing the colour of the box. We're going to make some other enhancements to bring them up to the level that's expected of other Accurascale models. In this case, externally, we're really pleased with these models. They've got loads of detail and there's not much to do to change the external physical look of them. But internally, we'll take a look at the PCB. We'll fit a new ESU PCB, which will give us more functions if we need them. We will look at fitting a stay alive to bring it up, again, bring it up to the standard of other Accurascale models. We'll also review the speaker setup, and also we'll have an all new sound project which we'll record with ESU, which again will bring it up to the standards of the rest of the Accurascale range. So that's it from me for now, from Great Central Railway. We're really looking forward to delivering these fantastic Class 153s and 155s to you next year. You can order them now at accurascale.com or from your local Accurascale retailer. And that's all that's left to say is thanks for watching, and let's go and have a look at what else they might have here.